Hello, folks. Don Brooks, along with
Miss Von Burton, hello.
Miss Von Burton. This is a very serious Don Brooks show. It's about a subject I'm not going to let die, and I talk to people about it all the time, and that's the tragedy in Uvalde. And the reason we're talking about it right now is because something happened. As you probably know, that the police force has been suspended. The whole police force, never heard of anything like that. And the higher ups in the organization have resigned. Some have resigned. Some have been put on leave of absence. So that's good. That's a good thing. And I think a lot of it had to do with people like a gentleman named Brett Cross, who had a 10-year-old. He was a guardian of a 10-year-old that was killed in this tragedy. And since this tragedy, he has been having a vigil around the school district's headquarters ever since, day and night. And because of his perseverance, I really believe that that's the reason changes are being made. And that's why I don't want us to die. It was a tragedy, and of course we know it could happen again. Unfortunately, it probably will happen again somewhere. Maybe I hope I'm wrong, but who knows? However, that's a good thing, but there is a person who I consider a new hero and a new activist. And believe it or not, she's 17 years old. A 17-year-old activist. Her name, and I'm going to spell her last name. First name is Jasmine Cazares, I guess. Cazares. She was the sister of a 10-year-old that was killed in this tragedy. She had a 10-year-old baby sister and a 9-year-old first cousin, and they were both killed. She talked about how her little sister had made plans for her future, going to college, only 10 years old and things like that. And she started attending these rallies. And she says she was reluctant to say anything. She's not a person that you find to be a leader. But she said someone put a mic in front of her face and asked her to say something. And from there on, it escalated. And she has been doing a lot of things. An unlikely hero, an unlikely activist, she went to the capital and the great city of Austin, Texas, and complained. She complained about guns. She said we need gun reform. This is a 17-year-old kid speaking to the House. We need gun reform. And then she went back home to Uvalde, came back 2 weeks later, and had a few choice words for Governor Abbott. She said, we need to change the age when a person can get a gun from 18 to 21. I think it's ridiculous for a person 18-year-old to be able to get a gun. She said she demands this. This is a 17-year-old kid. When I was 17, I couldn't demand anything. Nobody was going to listen anyway. But she's demanding this. And Abbott answered her. And he said, well, he said something to the effect that it's not in the Constitution. You just can't do this, blah, blah, blah. Some nonsense, something that made no sense to me. But this lady is an activist, and she says she's going to keep on, and she's doing it for not only her sister and her first cousin, for the future, to keep things like this from happening again. Uvalde and a new activist. Her name is Jasmine Cazares. We're all proud of you. See y'all later.